hopefully this time you are the right way round. So my name is Mary Ann Rennie, I'm the Minister of the Abbey, and we should be the right way round this time, and hopefully you can see the Abbey behind me. I said a fortnight ago that I was going to let people have an opportunity to have a wee look in the building, and as explained in the wee bit before, part of that is to help the congregation feel that they are still part of the building, the life of the worship roundabout here, because being a community in a community is also about remembering why you gather as people together, and so there are wee bits and pieces within this building that encourage and support each other in faith, and so it's often worth revisiting them and thinking a wee bit about them. But for those of you who have either visited or who would like to come on a visit, it's a wee opportunity to have a wee look at things that are here in the building to find out a little bit about them. My knowledge is not always the best, and so we have lots of lovely members of the congregation who know the history of this building far better than I do. And one of them, Mary, has promised me that she is going to ensure that you get the correct details and not the Mary Ann version of the story. And she's going to do that every so often. But the thing I'm going to show you today is one thing that I think I know enough about, and I've got all my bits and paper here to make sure I know bits and pieces about. And it's probably the newest part of ours. So what I'm going to do is, you're not going to see me anymore, but you'll hear my voice, and I'm going to switch around the other ways. Folk in the congregation will have worked out where I am already, I would imagine, because they'll know roughly what's on the opposite side to that exhibition. So I'm standing in front of the Tiffany window, and you will have seen it if you were watching us during Holy Week. You will have seen it on the Wednesday evening. I'm just going to move so you can't get the window in the back, and it eventually will stop. Once I stop moving, you'll be able to see this better. So this is the Tiffany window. This arrived here in the Abbey last year. It was dedicated on the 12th of August last year, and that was the day after the centenary of Andrew Carnegie's death, and we were marking the legacy of Andrew Carnegie in Dunfermline and across the world in August last year. And so that service of dedication was an opportunity to bring all sorts of people together who wanted to celebrate that legacy of Andrew Carnegie, and as well as the local trust, the Carnegie Dunfermline Trust. There were folk from the UK Trust, and the Carnegie Corporation of New York came across. Dunard Corporation are part of the group who helped to fund having this window put here in this building. There are, we think, only 4 Tiffany windows in the United Kingdom, and I did a wee bit of research before I came up the road so that I would be correct on this. The one you will hear probably most about is the one at St Cuthbert's Church in Edinburgh. So if you were coming to visit Scotland, then perhaps you would come to Dunfermline and then go and visit the one in St Cuthbert's Church. There is another one in Fyvie Parish Church in Aberdeenshire, and then the 4th one that I am aware of is in St Andrew's Church in Kimbolton, and it does suggest on the website of Kimbolton that that might be the only Tiffany window in the UK, in England, and so that would be very fascinating if Scotland had 3 Tiffany windows and England had 1. So there, as far as we know, there are 4 Tiffany windows in the United Kingdom. I'm happy to be corrected, so if you know more than that, then please come and tell me. So what can I tell you about this window? Well, actually it was meant to be in Dunfermline Abbey originally, but it wasn't meant to be in this part of the building. You'll see from the shape that we've had to have a special cabinet built to hold it, and it's backlit by lots and lots of tiny little lights so that you can get the full effect of light through it. Tiffany glass is quite clearly designed for a different kind of light than Scottish light, and so the even on the brightest, sunniest days, you possibly would not get the effect that the number of lights behind that window are able to achieve. But that window's shape suggests that it was actually designed to be through in the older part of Dunfermline Abbey, through in the 12th century part of the building. And Andrew Carnegie had the window made in memory, some bits of paper say in memory of his parents, but it's in memory of his family, to celebrate his family. At the time of the commission, once it was made and it was brought to Scotland, those who at that time were in charge of the nave decided that it wasn't suitably religious for it to end up being in that part of the building, and so it was never installed in the nave. Instead, another window was made in memory of Andrew Carnegie's parents, and that is through in the nave for people to see. It's not a Carnegie, it's not a Tiffany window. And this window ended up going into storage. I can't believe that. It's so beautiful. Why would you hide it away? And yet that's what happened. It ended up being in storage in, I think, the swimming pool up at the Carnegie swimming pool at the Baths. It was in storage. And it was kept there for quite a long time. It then made its way into the Carnegie Hall, and it was first placed in the auditorium, but it had to be covered up during performances, because why would you want to stare at the stage when you could stare at this? And then eventually it moved from there into the Tiffany room, or the sort of a restaurant lounge bar area, and it was there for a while. When the Carnegie Dunfermline Trust and the UK Trusts and the University Trust decided to move and relocate to their new building, part of their building was designed to be able to include this window in one of the walls in one of their meeting rooms, in their downstairs meeting room. And it was obviously a feature that you could look at both sides of the window, so you could see the different ways in which the paint were layered on the other side. And that's where the window has been really until about 2 years ago, at which point the window needed some conservation, and it went away off to the Scottish Glass people, and they've had to restore the window. The weight of the window is so significant that the bottom part of the window struggles to hold the top part of the window, and the conservation work that was done in 2005 and then in the last 2 years has been to ensure that the bottom part of the window is better protected. In installing it here, the window is actually supported across a number of steel bars to ensure that the bottom part of the window is not taking the whole weight of the window anymore. It's longer. It's now suspended across different steel bars to have it there. What else can I tell you about it? Well, you can see the scene. I hope you can see the scene. It's an interesting scene of a landscape. For Andrew Carnegie, his spirituality was based in the landscape, and he wanted something that offered that sense of being at one with the world, of being part of the creation. What's amazing about this window, I think, is that in different lights you see it differently. It's quite bright today, and so the top part of the canopy is not as clear as it is. But actually, if you come in here with the lights off in the sort of at night time, I'm going to be honest, and you manage to sneak in and get to the box and turn the light on, the brightness of the top is much brighter. And so what you see in the evening and at night time is very different from what you see during the day. And in some ways, although this window is lit with not natural light from behind, it still behaves as a stained glass window should, that in different times of the day you see it in different ways, and what you gain from it changes throughout the day. I think it's well worth coming to see. It's quite special to have it here. It's a unique thing to have brought it here. It's different from all the rest of our stained glass window, but it complements the range of stained glass window that the Abbey has, and so it's a good opportunity to come and see something different. We are turning this space in the Abbey into a more reflective space. We do have a memorial chapel as well, which seats about 40 people. We've been using that most recently for prime time on a Sunday morning. But we have on the days when we're open, we have 4 chairs that sit just in this space, and that is for those people who just want to sit and contemplate the view. I think in days when you can't get up hills, when you can't get outside to places, to be able to sit and contemplate a view is perhaps quite a powerful image to remind us of our connection to God and to the world. I'm not going to say much more, but I hope that you've enjoyed my wee introduction to the Tiffany window. Have a lovely day, and no doubt at some point I'll either see you soon as a congregation or I'll see you soon as a visitor. Enjoy whatever you're up to, and I hope that you are able to enjoy the created world of which you're part, whether that be from a garden, a balcony, or just from your window, or when you're out on your 1 hour of exercise you're allowed each day. So take care, look after yourselves wherever you are. Bye just now.